So if you've been around the CanaGlobal community, you've heard me talk about the 6,000 plus promises in the Bible. I look at the Bible not as a book of rules, but as a book of promises. So every promise has a promised outcome. So for every promise, there's a payoff. And don't get weird about that word payoff. It's a reward. And every promise has a reward. That's biblical, that's scriptural. In fact, God says yes to every single promise. But here's the thing about the promise. In between the promise and the outcome or the payoff, there's a process. And this is God's sovereignty controlling his how and when. Now, we like to think and we'd like to give God instructions of what we want him to do in between the promise and the payoff. But he has his own way of doing things that we have to trust him through. It's really a journey, it's a process, and he has his own timing. So I want to give you an example. In Deuteronomy 8:18, this is a great promise, especially for an entrepreneur. It says, "But you shall remember with profound respect the Lord your God, for it is he who is giving you the power to make wealth." That's great news. It says that he may confirm his covenant, which he swore, solemnly promised to your fathers as it is today. So this promise is still good today. Now, what entrepreneur doesn't want to create wealth? We all want to create wealth. We want to be profitable. We want to be debt-free. We want to treat our vendors right. We want to treat our employees right. We want to treat our family right. Put family first. We want to treat God right. These are all things. But let me remind you of something that happens someplace between that promise and the outcome, the payoff. During the journey, you're going to learn faith. You're going to learn endurance. You're going to learn God's timing. You're going to learn how to be patient. Your faith is going to multiply. You're going to gain wisdom. You're going to get what we call quad view. You're going to have hindsight, being able to look backwards, forward sight, insight of what's going on, oversight, kind of a God view through scriptures of what he's doing in your life. So what happens in the process when God's creating the how and the when is he's preparing us. He's growing us to be able to handle the payoff. So keep that in mind. Just a short little video as you're pursuing God's plans and purposes through his promises. Remember, he controls the how and the when. And he wants us to develop a relationship with him where the relationship is more important to us than the payoff. We want the payoff, but the relationship is key. The relationship is grown through the process. So I hope you find that encouraging and helpful. I'll see you around the community.